It's time for us to now delve into the dailies that we have for today. And of course, you know that I don't do this part alone. And I have joining me once again, Vivian Kai Loco. How are you, Viv?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm super. Thank you. Thank you.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was first of all restful. It was a one year. Should I say anniversary of my father's? I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know. I was going to say so. It was a 1 year Thanksgiving for my dad's. You know, since he passed. He was
pretty good age.
Yes, he was 82.
Yeah, it was. We have to celebrate him. So anniversary is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, mine is coming up soon.
Oh, wow.
November.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You really?
Yeah, almost a year.
The year comes really fast, eh? Yeah.
Charlie Rice life.
I know. We will also go one day, and others will come and take our place.
We'll go one day, and 2 generations after us won't remember we existed.
I know.
You know that,
it's
right?
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They won't know because I don't know my great-granddad.
No, I've only heard. Well, I met my grandparents. I don't know my great-grandparents.
You don't know your great-granddad.
Yeah.
So they didn't exist in your life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And that's how our great-grandchildren don't even know us. They'll
know.
hear of us.
You'll hear
and then the
that
third
we
one,
were
they won't even.
Yeah.
They'll throw out. You know the sad part, they throw away everything and move on with their life.
Everything. No, so I want to make an announcement for my great-grandchildren who will come that I was on ChannelOne TV. Yeah, I was the host of Breakfast.
If they will even see it.
Well, I mean, we're on YouTube, so to be there. So one day somebody will tell her that's your great-grandfather.
Maybe probably start a family museum.
I know, right?
And then it's there.
These things. Yeah,
and so
then to be
they
there.
know that.
Then people will keep it and pass it on.
Yes, but if not, forget it. Unless the person was a great public,
public
something
figure that
like
impacted so many.
Exactly.
A
person
so
like that,
just,
the great-grandchildren. But it just brings to question the issue of life and death.
Yeah.
And so you'll fight for everything in this world, scrambling. You leave, nobody will remember.
It's true.
After some time that you.
Charlie, life is on wheel. Well, anyway, there are a lot of papers today. So many of them. One of them has a some way headline, so I give that paper to you.
Which
so
one?
When you get there, you will see it.
No, tell me, let me start with that.
When you see everybody, you will see it.
Which one do you want me to start with?
No, you let's start with Daily Graphic.
Okay, so we'll start with Daily Graphic, the front page of Daily Graphic, some stories over there. We'll start with politics, and President Mahama is speaking over there. He says, we'll protect your ballots. Mahama affairs. You know, they had the walk on Saturday in my area. Spin takes all the way to the Nungwa Park. So they made a lot of statements over there. Still with politics and the elections, the EC is speaking. EC boss says, EC will be fair. Chairperson assures 2024 election stakeholders. She was in Parliament last week as well, speaking on plans towards the 2024 elections. And then we'll stay with Parliament because Parliament passes Ghana's Civil Aviation Bill. Bill seeks to bolster transparency and excellence. And then some big news for our brothers and sisters in the United States of America as Joe Biden withdraws from U.S. presidential race and endorses Kamala Harris.
Now, I can't say I'm surprised by that because I think that we've been watching him particularly, well, for me, it was even before the presidential debate, but particularly at the presidential debate, you will clearly see somebody who is not well, he's slowing down, and then you begin to question the capacity to even run the country, right? Yeah. So for me, it's a good decision, it's a wise decision. It takes some of the pressure off, you know. Some people are saying, well, if he can't run for the elections, can he run the country? But it's a different kettle of fish.
But still, I mean, let's stop this.
And you also know,
watch the guy confused all over the place.
Yeah, but you also know that
falling down all over the place. And America is a big nation.
Yes,
this is a superpower.
Yeah, but you know that
running the affairs, you can't convince me.
No, I can convince you.
Running the affairs of everybody, quote unquote, you know, and decisions have to to be taking
Yes.
hardcore decisions.
Yes.
The guy doesn't even, his memory is not
But you
sharp
see,
anymore. Who is taking these
Thankfully
decisions?
for
Who is
the
running
Americans,
America?
no, but you see, thankfully for the Americans, their institutions are far stronger
Yes,
than
but,
ours.
but
So for him, he can just be a figurehead.
It doesn't mean
The
anything.
system will still
in this,
work.
No.
It will still work.
We've all seen, you see, we are the problem. I mean,
How
of course, we are not running
In
there.
Ghana, we've made our
We are not
president too
run-
strong. Do you understand? Our
I'm
institutions
saying
are not so
that-
powerful.
I'm saying that with that of America, it's not different. The guy is not fit to run. The guy is not well. The guy has to take decisions every day on what to do. This is, what do you call it? The global village is dealing with about 2 or 3 major wars.
Yeah.
Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah.
This is the person who went to call the Ukraine president Putin. Then when he realized, then he now comes to say, oh, we want to get Putin out. That's why I'm mentioning his name. Let's be serious. We have the Israelis and Gaza, right? We have... It's a superpower running a lot of, not just internally, And even in America, there are a lot of issues happening that they have to deal with, that he has to take decisions. It's not only about institutions working. If it's just about institutions working, we'll have presidents. But he has to take firm decisions. He has to ensure that decisions are executed. He has to sit behind tables where he has to steer the country into a particular, So I'm not going to take this thing. It's a good step that he's pulled back from the presidential thing. But I think the next thing they have to do, look at us talking about somebody's own.
No, I think that we have our own issues.
The step he has to take.
Let them do
if
it.
America, anything happens to us, it affects all of us. If America sneezes, we all catch a cold. That's what it is. And then the Kamala Harris one.
Yeah.
I see that Michelle Obama is trending today. People want her to rather be the one in charge because they feel that she will do a better job. I'm not sure we'll get to that point.
I don't think so
The
either.
Make America Great Again group
Yeah.
have vowed that a black person won't come back.
Yeah, but they don't
So
speak for
all
all
these
Americans.
dynamics,
But they don't
will
feel
play.
for
No,
all
this
Americans.
time around, they are not going to.
Yeah, but they don't speak
They
for...
don't speak for Americans,
Interestingly-
but they have a strong,
But interestingly, when you look at all the different groups in America, the so-called minority groups put together are more than the majority.
No, it's about whether they can take decisions during the primaries. This is a primary.
Yeah.
They can
True.
take that decision. And then when she's nominated, then the voting proper. That's where they have the, But there's a lot going on in the United States of America. It's a good time to watch that country.
I know, right?
Anyway, let's come and as our former president said.
Let's do that.
The Finder, the new one, of course, says refilling CRM must operate side by side to engender competition, LPG marketers. And then Best records 208 million profits in 2023. This is 208 million Ghana cedis. Also with the new Finder, empowering SMEs and workers, harnessing the benefits of Ghana's $3 billion IMF support. And then this big one, yesterday at Kempinski, Arab Africa Financial Consortium established to enhance economic development, foster deeper ties. So that's it with the new Finder.
I have a question. The best that is there, Bust versus Best, are they interchangeable or they're two different organizations? Because
I think this one...
I find it interesting. It's a bulk energy.
Yes.
And
the other one
then
is...
there's bulk storage.
Yes.
Bulk oil.
Oil. So energy and oil, they are different, isn't it? So it's what it is. I think there's a review of the name.
I see. Okay.
I'll check this.
The Ghanaian Times. Polls will be free, fair, transparent, and EC assures. This is what the graphic brought us earlier. We have, let's implement Mbeki Commission findings on illicit financial flows. This is coming from President Kufuor. Winneba to host ECOWAS Parliament. NDC will capture power in 2024 general elections. This is coming from John Dramani Mahama. And that's what we have for the front page of the Ghanaian Times. On the back page, there's one here that I'll just quickly read. President inaugurates Secretary Kumawu in Adanse North District hospitals. Yeah, so we know that Fomena and Kumawu got some brand brand spanking new hospitals last week. So President has inaugurated those.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Daily Guide says Winneba hosts ECOWAS Parliament. We has a picture of Afenyo Markin there. NDC sold state land to cronies. This is John Mahama speaking, surely from the walk on Saturday. And then still with the Daily Guide, champion African education, Obasanjo to Educhum. Credible elections or coup, Atuforsen. I don't know whether that's a threat or not. SDA is not voting on December 7th. The church, you know, the church had earlier appealed that the date for the election, which falls on Saturdays this time around, be shifted to another day because it conflicts with their religious beliefs. But the president had spoken to them to reconsider their decision not to exercise their civic rights. So they are saying they are sticking with that. I've seen the Agric minister, you know, appeal that perhaps they should be added to the special voting team. I think that
sounds like a good idea.
That should work.
That sounds like a good idea.
We should just put in place measures to accommodate them.
If you can show your membership as
card.
an SDA, you know, church member, then you can.
Then
I agree with
organize
that.
it at the church premises
Because
they will know who fellowships with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not as easy. Anybody can go and get the membership card. It's not as easy as that.
So then maybe, like you said, special voting maybe on the church premises. You know,
and then they are sure that these
the members who are actually voting.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know, the credible elections or coup d'etat, that one, Tuforsen was basically saying how that the angst, you know, in the country, or the feeling, general feeling in the country, because there's a lot of undertones and rumors of, oh, you know, I have to be careful this time, you know, we don't have a coup again, and all those kinds of things. So he's saying that, look, the way it is, we do need to insist on credible elections so that the naysayers who are suggesting that it won't come to pass. You know?
Then that's a good one. That's a good one. And then, of course, finally, the big story internationally, Joe Biden drops out of U.S. race.
Yeah. So the Herald, we have these headlines here. It says, Baumia's right-hand man distances him from illegal deputy IGP appointment. He says he must win fair and square. No need for new deputy IGP. Okay. This is very interesting. Anyway, Larry will be coming around tomorrow, so I'm going to ask him about this headline he has put here.
Which one?
This particular one about the IGP, illegal deputy IGP appointment.
Why is he saying it's illegal?
He says it's illegal.
Why is
and
it
he's
illegal?
not even put illegal in quotes. He said it's illegal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you read it for us to understand.
Well, I'll read it later.
I think there's been a deputy IGP before.
No, so there actually is a deputy IGP role. But it's just that I don't know whether there are two deputies. I don't think the two deputies have ever existed. But there's deputy, so...
there's the lady, the woman, she was a female. I've forgotten her name. I think at Mills' time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Anyway, you read and then we'll get the details
let me get
of
into
what
it
he's
briefly.
saying.
Yeah, let me get into it briefly. All right, so we have here the senior, right, okay. So the senior vice president of Imani Africa, Kofi Bentel, strong supporter of the 2024 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has cast doubt on the claims by the presidency that the police council recommended the appointment of COP Christian Tete Yohunu as a new Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations. Now, President Dankwa Akufo-Addo last week made the appointment, saying it was based on the advice of the Police Council chaired by Dr. Bawumia, the Vice President. Now, Dr. Akufo-Addo, in a press statement, stated that the appointment followed the advice of the Police Council during its meeting held on Wednesday, July 17th, where COP Yohunu's exceptional credentials and dedication to duty were acknowledged. Now, a statement by the Jubilee House Director of Communication, Eugene Ahin, also described the commissioner as a distinguished law enforcement officer with a career spanning over 3 decades. Let me move on now. But Kofi Bentel has charged the Akufo-Addo government to desist from taking decisions that would give the impression that the 2024 election is being skewed to favor the MPP presidential candidate, Dr. Bawumia. According to him, even though he supports Dr. Bawumia, he said his victory must be achieved legitimately. Everybody knows where I stand. But if Dr. Bawumia is going to win this election, let him win it fair and square, he said. Okay, so I'm trying to find where it refers to him as an illegality. I don't see that yet.
Was the illegality in quotes?
Well,
The
headline wasn't actually put in quotes. He
Anyway,
just
tomorrow then you ask
categorically.
him.
But I'll definitely ask him tomorrow when he comes on
Okay.
the news review segment.
I'll stay with the IGP, if you permit me, because the Inquisitor too has
Go ahead.
a story on that. It says, appointment of Deputy IGP, PR blow job for Dampare.
That's the headline that I was... It's an iffy headline.
PR blow job
No.
for
PR blowjob.
for
Some way.
Dampare.
The headline is
It will
very some
affect
way.
Dampare.
Yeah.
PR blow job.
No, it's wrong. Because they shouldn't have used that headline some way.
Okay.
Maybe PR massage or something, but what is that? Okay, let's continue.
Then still with the Inquisitor, they say boss. So I would want to be sure whether boss, they now want to use the best now or it's boss. Because I still see best. They
Yeah,
use
some are
it
using some are
interchangeably.
using
which
boss,
is
some are
which?
using
It should
best.
be
I'm
one.
not sure which one it is.
In terms of,
Yeah.
consistency and
Like
branding.
communication, yeah.
So, I mean, I will just reach out and see what they want and what we should be using,
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
confuses you. So Boss records 280 million as profit for 2023. That's what they say. And then SC strikes out Crunch's suit against OSP. And then Wahala after African Games, hoteliers threaten to sue LOC Sports Ministry. I think none of the papers have the story of the Paralympic Committee, the issue of them
Yeah.
with the fake visas.
I haven't
don't
seen
know,
those
because it
online
started
stories yet.
brewing on Saturday. So I'm
Yes.
surprised nobody has.
nobody has carried it,
Maybe
yeah.
when we
We
go
have it
to
on
the
our online
online, then
stories,
we.
though, yeah.
And then the Ghanaian publisher, State Capture, list of state lands Mahama sold to cronies. And then Boss reports another impressive financial performance. ECOWAS Parliament meets in Winneba again. And then Akufo-Addo approves local governance university. And then finally, divert salaries of irresponsible parents to wards. Oh, gee, speaking. But can the wards keep the
I don't
money?
even know how that's gonna work.
Unless they are 18 years and over,
Yeah.
which then what's the point?
Yeah, but then you see the thing about it is that the person's salary is not only for taking
The-
care of
the
the
school
wards.
fees.
So when you're freezing, because the Chronicle also carries the same headline here. It says free salaries of irresponsible parents, or Cheney is speaking. But I'm not quite sure how that's going to work if that really happens.
You know, I think he's looking at it from the angle. There are certain parents who don't care.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
they don't know how their children go to
Yes,
school. They are
yes,
not bothered in
yes,
paying their
yes.
school fees, taking care of food. They are just there. And meanwhile, they are using their salaries to do other
To do other things, yeah.
You know,
No, but we
so
do have
I think
we
those
have
are
the
the people
courts that
he's
can
looking
actually
at.
grant certain things,
Social
awards to
welfare
the-
is even supposed to come in
to be-
and
yeah,
take care of some of
yeah,
these issues.
yeah.
So, I mean, if it's an irresponsible parents
Mm.
and legally there's a way to get them to take care of
Yeah,
their children,
yeah.
including, there are certain cases where you can take the salaries from
source,
So
yeah.
if that's what can be done.
Yeah, I think that's probably
what it
what we should be looking at, that some aspect of the salary will be withheld for the sake of the upkeep
You
of the
can't
children.
give birth
You can't
to
take the
children
whole salary.
and then not
It's
be
not fair.
bothered about.
Well,
No,
that's
it doesn't
also
even
true.
allow.
That's also
You
true.
can't take the full salary.
Yeah.
But you cannot have children
And not take care of them,
I
yeah.
mean, what do you mean?
Yeah. All right, so we have the Chronicle here. It says, Simpa hosts ECOWAS Parliament again. We have Badia promises rapid development of Africa. This is regarding the conference that took place over the weekend. Ghana exports petrol to 7 West African countries. This coming from the MPA. And Ghana's minister makes history. Edichum appointed to lead a team of experts to reform education in Africa. And we have Matthew 5:14. You're the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Okay, I don't know who he's referring to, but Chronicle, they're always releasing scriptures for things.
Okay, the Daily Searchlight. Nigeria minister blows whistle on 40% commission scandal on World Bank loans. What about Ghana? Okay, and then and then still with the Daily Searchlight, Ghana increases export of petroleum products to neighboring countries. We are told that Senegal and I believe Burkina Faso want us to give them some of our petroleum products. Have you seen what Dangote is doing in Nigeria with? And I was listening to him on the CEO African CEO Summit organized by the Rwandan president this month, and brilliant submissions.
Yeah.
Africa, we have a big problem. This guy wants to refine crude and serve Nigeria. What he will do at the end of the day is more than enough. There's not enough market for Nigeria to take care of everything, so he intends to export it across the world.
Continent.
He's looking at a point where you'll get to the point where one day, you know, most of our crude, we send it back out, refine, and bring it back in.
Yeah.
I mean, what's
but we do the
that?
same thing with bauxite.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he wants to break this trend where we are producing this and not take it back, but do the refinery here
ourselves,
and then export it to countries, not just Africa, Europe, and all that. And if he's able to do this, brilliant.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's able to do
Well, I wonder if the power brokers globally will be excited about that.
They are not. He spoke about breaking through the oil cartel. He says the oil cartel is more powerful and dangerous than the drug cartel. That says a lot.
I wouldn't doubt that, you know, because oil is phew.
Yes.
Anyway, we have some headlines here. Republic Press. NDC rejects IEA debate, accuses think tank of bias. Brian Achampon stands up for SDA as he advocates for special votings, what we spoke about earlier. Badea launches Arab Africa Financial Consortium to boost continent's development. We have police service assures minority of support ahead of BOG protest. Iyoko Korean embassy strengthened ties to combat economic and organized crime. And we have scandal rocks Ghana's Paralympic team. So so Republic Press has carried the story, which we spoke about.
It's amazing that these gentlemen were able to forge, because according to the organization,
the signature of the president was.
He's saying that his signature
was forged.
For all these people, and they were able to forge it, get through the visas,
visa processing,
you know, and then get there and disperse. I don't get it. How they were able to be.
We need to probe further into the story and investigate. You know, anyway, but apparently they are all on the radar of Interpol, and you know everybody else is looking for them. So hopefully we'll.
So we are saying that we had no plans to send anybody for the competition to start with.
That's the presumptive assertion by what the president of the team said, because if he's saying that his signature was forged, it means that they were not going to go. It wasn't part of their plan.
And so are we saying that when the embassy got the letters, usually they'll check with the institution, usually they'll even be prompted ahead. That so they also didn't do their checks.
But the questions you are raising is also now beginning to make me wonder. So is what we are seeing, is that all there is?
There's a lot of questions to be answered here.
There's more to it.
Because it's not just, it's a collective thing, these visa thing. Institutions will check with, reach out, if not immediately.
They will still at the point check.
So at what point did we realize they had taken the forged signatures? Is it when they got there, or somebody was prompted? Anyway, cement regulation to bring transparency, not price control. Trade Minister. Now he said on Friday, last week, that there are certain people who are trying to stop the LI from going through. Whether they like it or not, it will go through. I think he should calm down and speak to the people. They should agree on this thing. You know, it looks like his mind is made up. And
No,
nobody's going to
I
change
don't
his
like
mind.
the bulldozing attitude,
Yeah.
where it's like, no matter what, I will
It's A
do
or
what I
B,
want to
forget
do.
it,
You
yeah.
know, that's not how it's done.
The stakeholders
You know,
must,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's
come
not how
together.
it's done.
Because if you are even going to implement it,
Yeah.
you need the stakeholders.
But you should take note of what happened to the other airline, the 2118.
Which one?
You should remember the one that.
The siren one.
Yeah, you should take.
You
note
know,
of that.
I was watching CNR yesterday, and Elizabeth Okanse did a story on Praja.
Yeah.
And she was speaking to some of the people why they use it, and they
Yeah.
said because they don't have to stay in traffic. This one doesn't stay in traffic.
But that's
and
actually
I'm like,
the
hey,
reason.
Ghana.
No, but that's the reason.
But then
They
we
like
just
Yes.
last week spoke against this entitlement thing as breaking the rules.
Yes.
We just pushed an ally out
Yes.
of parliament.
Yes.
And we the citizens are now
Yeah, doing it. No, but we've been doing it.
It's wrong.
And we like it.
Wrong is wrong.
You know, and you're right. It's absolutely. We need to start. But you see, I believe that the police are there to make sure that, because you see, how many times do you realize that when a motorbike jumps
the red light.
the red light, any other police dispatch follows the person
they don't- never
to go and arrest the person? They don't. So what are we doing? How do we expect it to stop? Anyway, thank you very much, Vivian.
Thank you.
All right, sports is next. Don't go anywhere. All right. Now, on the sporting front, we have some women's football news. Now, the Confederation of African Football has announced that Wednesday, July 24th, 2024, will be the date for the qualifiers of the CAF Women's Championship League qualifiers. Now, the qualifiers will determine the 8 teams that will eventually play in the CAF Women's Champions League tournament set for later this year. Now, the teams in the pots for the draw are from the WAFU B zone, which include Ghana's Hazakas Ladies, UNAF zone from North Africa, and CECAFA representing East Africa, and UNIFAC representing Central Africa. Now, CAF added that the draws for the WAFU Zone A and the COSAF A zone representing Southern Africa will be done at a later date.
All right, Premier League on City. Some Premier League clubs continue their preps for the season with some friendlies played over the weekend. Manchester United beat Scottish side Rangers 2-0 on Saturday thanks to goals from Amad Diallo and John Hugill, who scored in the first and second halves respectively. And the match was also the debut for the club's new defender, 18-year-old Lenny Yoro. And Liverpool lost 1-0 to Preston North End at the Club Access Training Centre in the goal coming from Robbie Brady. Liverpool manager Arne Slot said after the match that he was pleased with the performance of the team ahead of their US pre-season tour next week. Tottenham Hotspur were 2-0 winners over Queen's Parker Rangers, with their goals coming from Malian Mill defender Yves Bissouma and Dane Scarlett. The likes of Manchester United, Liverpool and Arsenal will continue their pre-season activities with matches in the United States in the coming weeks. And that's all we have for sport.